ING is piloting a peer-to-peer payments app that uses ultra-wideband technology to let users transfer money by simply pointing their phones towards each other. Although we love payments innovation, with NFC, QR, wallets, and an abundance of niche peer-to-peer payment options, we're going to have a closer look at this pilot and assess whether this will become part of our day-to-day payment stack or whether we will forget about it before it even hits the market. Good morning, everyone. This is Merrick from Payment Genes, and today it's all about payments. ING pioneers with ultra-wideband peer-to-peer payments. The method called Near originated at ING Factory, which is ING's workshop for customer and payment technology innovations. ING and NXP are working with Samsung to make the payment method suitable for their devices. This first peer-to-peer payment application, where you pay by simply holding phones close to one another, allows users to stop looking for each other's username, email address, or even phone number. The new payment method uses NXP's ultra-wideband technology and can be used on the newer generation of Samsung phones. This innovation will first be further tested in the Netherlands in an internal pilot by ING and NXP in the second half of this year. The next steps will then be taken to actively involve customers in further development. Ultra-wideband peer-to-peer contactless payments. True payments innovation or fancy tech? So you might be wondering, what problem does this new initiative actually solve? You don't always have the details of the person across from you, such as their phone number, for example. With this method, you don't need those either. The recipient of the money only has to accept and not send a request for payments. Essentially, this saves creating and scanning a sticky QR code. So what is, for example, the biggest difference with Apple Pay? And is this technology therefore primarily focused on C2C? The consumer-to-consumer focused solution is aimed at informal payments. If, for example, you buy something via a marketplace or at a flea market for that matter, and you do not have the data of the person opposite to you, although this is necessary for a payment request for a tap, you only need to point your phone at the other person's smartphone. Then, ultra-wideband technology, or UWB, will allow you to transfer money without having to have data on the recipient before. For B2B, you might still remember the introduction of SoftPOS back in 2019, which enabled micro merchants to accept NFC payments via a secure smartphone application, taking away the barrier of the classical point-of-sale terminal costs. With this solution, merchants can accept payments via contactless cards, mobile wallets, and wearable devices, regardless of the amount, with their personal mobile devices. Thanks to this solution, payments exceeding a certain amount can also be made safely by using a PIN. For ING's pilot, you don't need all of that. This is intended to make it a lot more relaxed for the recipient, who only has to accept the payment and doesn't have to send out a payment request, as well as making use of UWB technology as opposed to NFC technology. There are really hundreds of use cases to consider with UWB because the technology can accurately detect a phone or device from a considerable distance, not only sending money between people, but also for games, for example, or for money swiping to devices. Between QR, UWB, and NFC, who's the winner? QR codes are dominant in Asia due to the low cost and low entry barriers it presents. As a merchant, one would simply need a phone with internet connections and they're good to go. In Europe, however, NFC is mostly used for point-of-sale terminal-based purchases, from retail to vending and accessing public transport. Thanks to the innovation of banks and trust in Apple Pay as well as Google Pay, mobile contactless payments have taken over card payments. So, does UWB jump into a non-existing gap? Having analyzed the use cases of NFC, QR, and UWB payments, it becomes clear that despite not having added a breakthrough usability feature, it will prove to be very successful if and only if they're able to reach high adoption rates. This will be a condition for success in addition to the information that both UWB hardware technology becoming widely available as well as that consumers heavily adopt to it. However, Whilst very popular peer-to-peer payment options such as Sticky are the standard, well, in the Netherlands at least, we believe that UWB technology should find more ways to become useful in people's day-to-day lives for it to become a great success. So, the question that remains today, do you foresee yourself using UWB over other peer-to-peer payment options in the future? And do you reckon that UWB has other use cases that could boost the consumer adoption rate? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. For now, I'd like to thank you all again for watching. I'm looking forward to see you all again next week. Cheers, bye-bye!